dragged several steel pipes out to the open sea, to build a nation, to be their own president. This is a true story. The men climbed onto the steel pipes and opened the lids. They filled the pipes with seawater. The first pipe was successfully placed. This was the foundation. They were full of energy. After several months of effort, they really built a country. It was just a bit small, only 400 square meters, but it had everything it needed. There were restaurants, bars, and gift shops. There was also a post office. Here, people lived freely, a life without constraints. This was the Republic of Rose Island, located on the high seas near Italy. It was a platform supported by 9 bridge towers. The man who built it was named George Rosa. He was also the president of this country. This all began with a strange car. This car was built by George for an engineering exam. He was driving around with his girlfriend. They were stopped by a traffic police officer. The officer noticed the car's unusual appearance and the lack of license plates. He asked George to show his driver's license, but George didn't have one, so George was detained. This incident also affected his girlfriend. Her professor's exam eligibility was revoked, but George didn't seem to care. Seeing his nonchalant attitude, his girlfriend scolded him fiercely. George was deeply shaken. He had once built a biplane, but he flew it without registration. He was banned from flying by the authorities. Now he couldn't even drive the car he built himself. There are so many rules in this world. Since this world isn't his, he decided to build his own world. But after thinking about it for months, George still didn't know how to start. He could only find a job with a racing team. During races, he held signs to signal to the drivers. He saw a billboard. It was for an offshore drilling platform. At that moment, he gained inspiration to build a nation. But since he didn't hold the sign, the drivers suffered the consequences. The next day, George went to see his friend. He shared his idea of building a nation. Why did he choose him? Because George had no money. His friend was a wealthy heir. He hoped his friend would invest in the project. His friend was eager to join, but he had a question. To build a nation, the most important thing was to find territory, but all the land was already occupied by other countries, so they decided to build a platform at sea. After researching, they found that the high seas belonged to no country, so they decided to locate it on the high seas. Although they were top engineers, they were not experts in building platforms at sea. First, they needed to observe and learn, see how others built them. But how could they learn?